also see my people in Delta, Cross River and Akwa Ibom, in Edo State. I can see my people in Enugu. I can see my people in Anambra. I also see my people in Ebonyi, Igbo and Abia, Igala and Igama, Biafra, 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 in the Maka, Biafra, how good a place and it could be before good and man.
Welcome viewers to Biafra Television, London, and this is the truth of the matter. Today, the truth of the matter program will be looking at a very sordid and pathetic case that affects the criminal justice in Nigeria. Today, the truth of the matter is looking at the acquitting of the 5 arrested killers of a 74-year-old woman, 74-year-old Igbo woman in Kano, who was killed and beheaded by some Hausa Fulani Muslim fundamentalists on the allegation of blasphemy against Muhammad. A 74-year-old woman from Bitolu Ikedru in Imo State was beheaded in Kano by Muslim fundamentalists who alleged that she blasphemed Prophet Muhammad. And these murderers were arrested, arraigned before a chief magistrate court in Kano. But all of a sudden, these suspects were discharged and acquitted. And as the Truth of the Matter program is talking to you now, there is nobody held responsible, there is nobody punished for the beheading of a 74-year-old Biafran woman in Kano. Now, the Truth of the Matter program will be looking at this matter today to see actually if there is justice in beheading a person and discharging her killers. At what point in time in the Nigerian Constitution is murder, the act of murder, regarded as no offense? And if that is the case, are we supposed to belong to a country where the unwarranted killing of innocent citizens or killers of or murderers will be allowed to roam the street free after committing a crime as heinous as murder? I am not alone in this panel today. Truth of the Matter panel will be looking at this issue, and we are also going to consider other issues that surround the existence of Biafrans in the contraption called Nigeria as it affects the legal system and the judicial criminal system in Nigeria. From my extreme left, you can see Amadi Basil Oba. He's present here today in today's program.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you, our listeners, for watching our programs. Stay tuned.
You are welcome, Amadi Basil, for coming today in today's program. And from my immediate left, you can also see Abu Carlo Abu.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there watching our program. We welcome you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abu Carlo, for coming in today's program. And from my immediate right, you have Ifeanyi Nnadi.
Hello, the world at large and the Biafrans all over the world. You are welcome to this program.
Thank you so very much, Ifeanyi. You are welcome in today's program. And this is Ike Chukwumorisa moderating in today's program. Now, in order to bring this information very clear to our people, I would like to read a publication from May30.org publication on this particular case of beheading of a 74-year-old woman, for us to have a background information and knowledge of the issue we are looking at. So, from that publication from May30.org, we have Kano court discharged and acquitted 5 killers who beheaded 74-year-old Igbo woman in Kano. I want our viewers to pay attention so that we give them a background information of what happened in the court regarding this case. He says, a Kano magistrate court on Thursday discharged all the 5 suspects who allegedly killed Bridget Bahime, a trader based in Kano. The suspects, Dauda Ahmed, Abdul Mumin Mustafa, Zubairu Abubakar, Abdullahi Abubakar, and Musa Abdullahi, were slammed with a 4-count charge of allegedly inciting disturbance, culpable homicide, joint act, and mischief. Bahime, 74, that is the woman in question, an Imo State indigene, was murdered in Kufa, Wombai Market in Kano over alleged blasphemy. This tragic incident occurred on June the 2nd. Mohammed Jibril, Chief Magistrate, discharged the 5 suspects and terminated the case in line with the directive of the Attorney General of Kano State. In other words, these 5 suspects were not tried in the magistrate court, but the magistrate discharged them on the orders of the Attorney General of Kano State. The publication went further to say, earlier, Rabiu Yusuf, Principal State Counsel representing the Attorney General of Kano State, told the court that we received the case diary from the police on June 8th. Having gone through the case diary, the Attorney General of Kano State evaluated the facts in accordance with sections 130 and 150 of the Criminal Procedure Code. A legal advice presented to the court dated 24th June states that there is no case to answer as the suspects are all innocent, and orders the court to discharge all the suspects. I want to stop so far. Our panel, you have heard what actually the particular publication I read said, that the Attorney General of Kano State ordered the release of 5 suspects that murdered and beheaded a 74-year-old Igbo woman, and that the reason is because the Attorney General evaluated the fact according to section 130 and 150 of the Criminal Procedure Code. In other words, this particular section the Attorney General of Kano State is trying to make us to believe is that when somebody beheads somebody, and if a person beheads a person, the person, this particular part of the legal system says set him free. So I come to you now, Amadi Basil Oba. At what point in time is murder regarded as no case in Nigerian criminal justice system?
Moderator, I can tell you, no time Nigerian legal system has ever made it clear to the citizens that if you murder a person, your fellow citizen, that you have to go free. So when we are talking about Biafra, we are also talking about injustice, which we are facing in Nigeria. You know, since 1945, the people of Biafra have been facing this kind of situation whereby some people in Nigeria will be killing our people and they will not face any consequence in Nigeria. As I'm talking to you today, this oppressive state called Nigeria is a particular country who believes that some people have all the right to live, and some people, some parts of the country do not. If you look at what is happening, you understand, if you look at the article, what happened in the magistrate court in Nigeria, you will understand there is no place they mention or they said they blaspheme the woman committed. They just say that he committed blasphemy against Prophet Muhammad. That she said against Prophet Muhammad or the religion is what we don't know. They just say like that and they behead the woman without making the public to know exactly what the woman said. In other words, I can believe that this woman is innocent. They beheaded her because of intolerance of religion in Nigeria. That is one of the reasons why the people of Biafra must leave Nigeria, separate ourselves from this Sokoto Caliphate they have in Nigeria there. The world made it clear to us that a people who have such a religion with other people who have a different religion should not live in the same country with them, whereby there's someone who doesn't understand your culture, your religion, may say something. Because of that, you behead the person. I don't think that it works in a particular geopolitical unit. So Nigeria, you see today, the people of Biafra have been facing injustice. The injustice we are facing now is that this Attorney General of Kano State, who ordered the magistrate court to discharge the perpetrators and acquitted them. In fact, I can tell everyone, all of you who are listening to us, that this issue is not a legal issue. This is a criminal issue whereby an individual will determine whether you will free someone who killed his fellow citizen. This is unthinkable, moderator. So as it is today, under democracy, we believe that someone who killed his fellow citizen will face the consequence. In Nigerian constitution, we have it stipulated that when you kill your fellow citizen, you will be killed as well. But today, someone can be free because that the person they killed is a person of Biafra and a citizen of Biafra. Moderator, because of this issue, the people of Biafra have every right to separate themselves from Nigeria, because the law of Nigeria cannot protect the people of Biafra. Other organizations under the law of Nigeria cannot protect the lives of Biafrans. The Nigerian government under the law of Nigeria cannot protect the people of Biafra. Therefore, it's time for the people of Biafra to separate themselves from this injustice which has been there since 1945. As I'm talking to you now, a woman has been killed without the perpetrators did not face any consequence. This is unthinkable. Therefore, moderator, let me just stop here. But the world must know the reason why the people of Biafra have made up their mind to leave Nigeria. So we must be free from this Islamic state called Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oba Basil, I quite see with you that a state where a crime as heinous and as bad as killing, beheading of a citizen attracted no punishment. Are we actually in human race or are we in the animal kingdom? Are we?
Well, Mr. Moderator, before any event, I would like to take you to the source of this killing. The source of this killing is in the Nigerian Constitution, specifically in section 260 to 264, which specifically provided for the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to sit on a session to deliberate on the appointment of the Grand Cadi of the Sharia court. That is to tell you that section 260 to section 264 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria stipulates that the Senate of the Nigerian legislature should have the mandate, the constitutional mandate in section 261 of it, that they must sit and deliberate for the appointment of the Grand Cadi of the Sharia court. That is to say that the Nigerian Constitution provided for Sharia law. And I don't know what the Biafran people are still doing in Nigeria. And as it stands, if the Sharia law, Islam, Quran, mosque, and everything that related to Islam is enshrined in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which was foisted fraudulently on the people of Nigeria, including the Biafran people, by one person, Abdul Salami Abubakar, who concocted this constitution and fraudulently wrote on the preamble of that same constitution that we, the people of Nigeria, have decided to make, which is very, very wrong, which is a false, because there has never been any time, or there were no time when the people of Nigeria came together and sit to make that constitution. That is the reason why I will tell you that those people that beheaded the woman, they derived their rights from the Constitution of Nigeria, because Nigerian Constitution is leaning towards Sharia Islamic application. So what I'm saying in effect is this: if you look at this issue very well, you will understand that Nigeria is already an Islamic state headed by jihadists. And these jihadists, if you could remember, there was a time some months ago when the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Abubakar, he said that if anyone tries to stop you from practicing your religion, which is Islam, that he will empower them to fight. And when I was reading some of the newspapers, I discovered where those people, where they said that the woman that they beheaded was against their religion, of which they beheaded her. So what I'm trying to draw to our audience is this: Nigeria is not for Biafra people. Nigeria is for Fulani people. If you are a Biafran and you are still living in the north, you have to think twice. If you are a Biafran and we are talking about Biafra and you say it is none of your business, and you stay in Sabongari and you stay anywhere in the north to do your tradings, remember, one day what killed this lady will also kill you. Remember that Nigeria is constitutionally an Islamic state, because inside that 1999 fraudulent constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is no mention of Christian, there is no mention of the Bible, there is no mention of the church, there is no mention of any other religious activities except the Islamic religion. That's exactly what makes Nigeria an Islamic state. And the more the Biafran people continue to be in Nigeria, the more the Biafran people continue to associate themselves with this shenanigan called Nigeria, the more deaths will be witnessed. The more deaths will be witnessed in the morning, more deaths will be witnessed in the day, and more deaths will be witnessed in the night. Because these people are bloodsuckers. These people, their value system is a different thing from what we believe in. These people, their way of life is a different thing from what we believe in. These people, they believe in sucking blood. So there is no way, there is nothing whatsoever that must compel the people of Biafra to be in Nigeria further than this year, than this moment. Because the more you keep the people of Biafra in Nigeria, the more atrocities that will be committed against them. The more you witness deterioration in every phase of human life. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, Abu Karluk Abu, because the fact that inside the Nigerian Constitution there is this dual ideology gives room for the perpetration of evil, and there is no punishment that is accorded to it.
Yes, there will be no punishment, because what they are doing, they derive it from the law. Whatever that is constitutional is lawful, and whatever that is unconstitutional is unlawful and authorized. So these people, they know what we don't know. We claim, we from the Biafran part of that contraction called Nigeria, we claim we go to school, we know. But when you look deep inside what is happening, you know that our people, we don't even know what is in the Constitution, whereas these people, they know. These people, they say that an injustice done somewhere is a justice done in another place. And a justice done here may be an injustice done to somewhere else. As we are Biafrans, we have seen the beheading of this 74-year-old woman. It is an injustice to us. But to those who killed her, it is never an injustice. It is a justice according to what they believe.
According to what the Attorney General now.
Yes, okay. And from what you read, it is very, very clear that the Attorney General gave order to the court
to release these people,
to decide and acquit,
because they never committed any crime.
Yes. The reason for the Attorney General to make such decision was not based on the facts of the case before the court, because in law there are three things that a judge is known for: knowledge of the law,
yes,
knowledge of the facts of the case,
yes,
and the knowledge of the right way of its application. So if the Attorney General of Kano State gave the order without taking recourse to the Constitution or any president, any judicial president, that any matter that has been settled that is similar to it, he just gave an order. That is to say that there is no law. What we have in Nigeria is the logic of the big fish.
So, moderator, there is one question I want our public, our listeners to ask to general public.
Yes.
I want them to ask question. Ask Nigeria, the Nigerian judiciary and the Nigerian government, what is that blasphemy this woman committed against the northern Nigeria? We want to know the blasphemy the woman committed, because there is my colleague was saying something that a judge must know
the law
or have the knowledge of the fact of the issue.
Of the issue, yes.
Are you getting
yes.
me? So in this case, what is the fact that this woman committed blasphemy against the northern Nigeria?
Good question. Very good question.
Our listeners must ask this question to Nigerian government and the Nigerian judiciary. Thank you, moderator.
I want to call on Biafrans. In Biafra land, we have legal practitioners. Even in the Nigerian judiciary, we have Biafrans. Even in the legislative arms of the Nigerian government, we have representatives. Now, a Biafran woman was beheaded, and an attorney general of the state discharged and acquitted the people that murdered her. Now, the question we are asking is this: if there is no crime in the murder of this woman, then what are we doing in this country with these people? Because to us who are Biafrans, that's a heinous crime. Why is it not yet time for Biafrans to speak out and to condemn evil and to tell Nigerians that we don't belong together? Now, it is the turn of Miss Bridget, and tomorrow it could be another person's turn. And who would that person be? I'm coming to you now, Ifeanyi. Now, the Attorney General of Kano State has discharged the killers of our sister, a Biafran woman, and the people that killed her committed no crime. Is that how it should be?
Moderator, the truth of the matter is this. Right from inception, the so-called 1999 constitution or any other constitution that the Nigerian government is using in governing Nigeria is never applicable in the northern Nigeria. Those books which they call constitution is meant to rule Biafrans. It's not meant for the north. It's very clear. I can cite many reasons why it is very clear. The north completely believe in Sharia law. They don't regard any other law or constitution or rules or whatever except Sharia law. That is the number one thing everybody should have in their mind. It is only in Nigeria that a police officer will carry gun, AK-47, and kill somebody in the Biafran side of that geopolitical zone, and nothing will happen. And no court will entertain that case. He will not be arrested. They will call it accidental discharge. It is in the same Nigeria. I'm pointing out this so that you will understand that these laws are not applicable in the north. It is in the same Nigeria that a Fulani has men will carry AK-47, go into somebody's farm, shoot the person, and the cow or the sheep will clear everything there and nothing will happen. It is in the same Nigeria that you will be moving per each kilometer of road. Per each kilometer of road, there is both police and army checkpoints in the Biafran side. Whereas in the northern side, you can travel for 6 hours, 7 hours without a single roadblock. But they say it is Nigeria is being governed by, the whole Nigeria is being governed by a constitution. Look at the mindset. The action of the Attorney General of Kano State is just to express to everyone that is listening very clearly the mindset of a northerner. No matter highly educated such person might be, they all think alike. Be it the president, be it the governor, be it whatever, they all believe in one thing and they think the same way. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. And it can never change. It can never change. A northerner is a northerner. A Fulani is a Fulani. An Hausa man is an Hausa man. He can never change from that. And I don't blame them by not changing. Because that is their own value system. That is their own way of life. To kill, to wander. In the same Nigeria, a trailer driver from Sokoto or from Kano will use his trailer and level off people as he wants on the road of Biafra, on the road in Biafra land, and run away, and no police will locate him again. It will end like that. I have witnessed so many cases. Even Dangote truck carrying cement will come and crush a lot of car and crush people. And because the company is being owned by a northerner, nothing will happen. It is in the same Nigeria that a herdsman from the north, from Kano or Sokoto, will come to the Biafra land with his car, with AK-47, and will kill somebody in his farm, a Biafran in his farm, destroy the farm, kill the owner, rape the wife, kill the children, and nothing will happen. Then how can you say that the so-called constitution is applicable to the north? It's never applicable in the north. A reasonable human being who has been in Nigeria, who has been following the trend of happenings in Nigeria, should understand that we don't have the same value system. And no matter how a northerner, no matter how educated a northerner may be it professor, barrister, lawyer, doctors, no matter the field of profession or no matter how highly educated such person might be, including the president, they think alike. They reason the same way. That their mindset is conditioned in such a way that outside Sharia, there is nothing existing. The only thing that exists is things that exist within the Sharia law. Any other thing outside Sharia law is not part of the north. But there's one thing, I don't blame them, because that is the way they are. That is their value system. If that is not the way they are, there should have been a difference between an average man in the north and an elite in the north, in terms of understanding the things of the law. But look at it this way. An Attorney General of a state giving order for the discharging and acquitting of murderers. What does that tell you? it tells you that the same Attorney General of the state reason like a cattle rearer
Yeah,
in the bush. Because if that man, if there is a difference between both of them, then the other will act differently. But both behave alike because they reason alike and think alike. So, and this kind of mindset and value system cannot be changed. It can never be changed. And this is the major reason why Biafrans want to go. That is why we want to go. They can't continue killing us forever. In 1966, before 1967, that the war of the Nigerian and the Biafra war started, it was the same killing that brought about the war. At that time, people were killed on the street of the same Kano. People were killed, massacred in thousands. And not only that they were being massacred, the massacres are being assisted and guided by military and police. Go and watch the film, the Chimamanda, the Yellow Sun movie. You will understand that everything that has been happening in Nigeria is somehow natural, the way the North are being made. I don't know if it's God that made them that way, or it is something else that conditioned them in that way. Because the way they reason, the way they think, the way they behave is completely different from human thinking, especially from the way we Biafrans think. And that is why the killing in Nigeria has persisted. But the annoying thing there is that if you say you don't want to be part of these people again, they will still kill you. If you say you want to be part of them, they will still kill you. So we found ourselves in a situation that is beyond human understanding. It is a mystery as far as I am concerned. The problem we are passing through in Nigeria is a mystery. It's beyond every human reasoning and understanding. The only solution is Biafra. Because it is when Biafra comes, everybody will be able, they will be able to have their own value system. We will be able to have our own value system. Then, if they are coming to your house with you, they want to come into Biafra, we say, Mr. Man, drop that knife you carry at the border. Then you can walk in. Or drop that AK-47 at the border. Then you can walk in. It is not necessary that we are going to cut them off forever. After all, we are living in a world where everybody belongs. So, but the fact remains that these people are totally different. Now, do you know that people were killed when I was in Abuja in 2001 or 2002 or thereabout, when they hosted the beauty pageant?
Okay.
The beauty pageant in Abuja. Do you know that some people lost their life simply because beauty pageant that is being done in all parts of the world? But these beauty pageants were brought to host in Abuja. These people started rioting. A lot of cars were burned, people were killed. In a day, not in a daybreak, not in the night, but in open day like this. There in Abuja, I'm talking about federal capital of Nigeria territory. So that shows you that if these people cannot, if the action of these people, if all these illegal actions cannot be curtailed in the federal capital territory, where all the security apparatus are situated, where you can get all kind of security, the so-called AGOB, DSS, that are making noise every time, harassing people. If the action of these outside people, their killing cannot be curtailed within the Abuja territory, then where else can it be curtailed? Who is safe? So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that
people should stop thinking about it. There is nothing like constitution in Nigeria. There is nothing like Nigeria don't have constitution. Nigeria is not
It
operating
is
on
only
that.
applicable when it
It is
becomes.
just a book written by one man and his committee of friends. So the truth is that there is nothing like a constitution. People should stop thinking about the constitution. There is nothing
Okay,
like constitution in Nigeria.
I agree with you totally.
So that is all I want to say, moderator. Thank you very much.
I agree with you totally, because if there is a constitution in Nigeria, I believe that murder is a crime in Nigeria.
Yes.
And for you to discharge and acquit murderers means that there is no constitution.
No investigation, nothing. How long did such murder took place?
You see,
How many months?
I really find it difficult to appreciate how our people. Yes.
Moderator, sorry, I just want to chip in something here.
Yes.
I want to use this opportunity to call on the United Nations, European Union, African Union, Human Rights, Amnesty International, that the people of Biafra have been killed in all the cities of Nigeria and the communities of Nigeria. And those of them killed, the citizens of Biafra killed, are innocent civilians of Biafra. Our lives are not protected in Nigeria. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you very much, Uba Basil, because like you asked earlier, you said what was the crime, what was the blasphemy that Bridget committed, that she was beheaded, and nobody could tell you. I want to tell you something. Here in this publication, they say that Bridget was just asked people in front of her shop that are washing their feet to go for prayer to please shift by the corner. Somebody that is washing his feet in front of your shop, and he said, please shift to a corner. He did not say stop washing your leg or don't go to pray. And because he said, can you shift to the corner and wash your feet there? These people started shouting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, and before you know it, they came out with matches and beheaded this woman in a broad daylight. And the Attorney General of Kano State said all is well. This is a direct message and direct call on Biafrans and those who are for or against Biafra restoration to actually look at this issue, assess this issue, and see if actually we belong together or not. At this point in time, we are going to go on a short break. But when we come back, we are going to look at this issue, because the order was given by Attorney General of the of Kano State. But most recently, we also are facing a situation whereby judges of the High Court are being ordered by the Nigerian Judicial Council, NJC, to step down because DSS, which are also offshoots of the Hausa Caliphate, alleges corruption on them because they pronounced a favorable judgment for Biafrans. We are going on a short break now. When we come back, we are going to look at how all these things are playing out in the Nigerian state. Keep watching and stay tuned.
On the beat.
Welcome back, viewers, to The Truth of the Matter, coming to you from the Biafra Television, London. Now, we are looking at the beheading of a 74-year-old Igbo woman in Kano, and the acquitting of the suspects, the 5 arrested suspects, are the orders of the Attorney General of Kano State. And as this is happening, the Nigerian Judicial Commission has ordered some judges that the Nigerian DSS arrested some couple of weeks ago, which we also brought to you here on The Truth of the Matter, explaining actually the main reason why these judges were arrested. Right now, these judges that delivered honorable judgment in their courts are being asked to step down while investigations are going on in the alleged cases. We, at the truth of the matter, we are going to look at the justification of bringing these judges to disrepute, basically because they refuse to be corrupt. I will come to you now, Kano. From what you can see that is going on now in the Nigerian judicial system, whereby honorable judges that deliver justice in their judgment at their courts are being punished. Do you think that the Nigerian Judicial Commission is really right by stepping these honorable judges down?
Well, Mr. Moderator, the Nigerian Judicial Council, I will tell you that they are speaking from both sides of their mouth. They double speak. They speak from both sides of their mouth. Because why I say this is, immediately the day these judges were kidnapped at the middle of the night by the unconstitutional and illegal Department of State Security of the Nigerian state, the outgoing CJF, that is the Chief Justice of the Federation of Nigeria, he condemned the activities of the DSS, and he spoke with a strong voice on that same day. But could you imagine that when he went to meet the tyrant in power, Muhammadu Buhari, after meeting Buhari, he came out and started soft pedaling? I want to bring to the notice of our audience at this point in time that as we speak now, there is a vacuum in the Nigerian judicial system, because the Chief Justice of the Federation of Nigeria has attained a retirement age just maybe in a day, for 24 hours now. And the responsibility of the executive arm of the Nigerian government, headed by Muhammadu Buhari, has the constitutional mandate to submit the names of a new Chief Justice of the Federation. But that hasn't been done up till now. And we say that nature abhors vacuum. And the risk that is facing the Nigerian state is too enormous, and nobody is talking about it. Do you know why we have the vacuum right now? It's because Muhammadu Buhari, on his bid to establish a caliphate, he has been going after top judicial echelons of the Nigerian state by removing those who are not of his Fulani extraction. He wants to remove them and implant his brothers and his family or relatives, so as to enhance a smooth and the direct Islamization of the contraption called Republic of Nigeria. And as it is, the lawyers, the Nigerian Bar Association, even those who call themselves elites in the Nigerian states, they are silent, as if nothing is happening. The Nigerian state is drifting to a very big and serious chaos, because the absence of the rule of law brings about anarchy, chaos, and lawlessness in a society. And that is the direction in which the Nigerian state is heading to. There is a vacuum in the judiciary. Nigeria does not have any law. Nigeria does not obey laws. Nigeria judicial system has been destroyed. That is the fact. And what they want to use to replace it is the Sharia law. Because as we speak now, they are trying to introduce the criminal code of the Sharia law application in the Nigerian judicial system. That is the situation that people are in now, but it's quite unfortunate that many people don't really know what is happening, and many will be taken by surprise, and many will never know what is happening until they are consumed. It is now time for every reasonable human who is in that contraption called Nigeria to wake up and speak up, because evil continues to flourish when good people refuse to speak. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, Abu. Thank you so very much, because we know that there has been a rape of the Nigerian Constitution, and that nobody is talking. Nobody is saying anything. People that should come out and condemn evil are silent. Everybody doesn't want to say anything, while evil is ravaging the entire contraption called Nigeria. Now, the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court, which the council earlier said that they are not going to suspend, are now being asked to step down. Oba, these judges, earlier, the Chief Justice of the Federation said that they are not going to touch them. What actually happened now that they are being asked to step down?
Moderator, thank you very much. In Nigeria, we have National Judicial Council, and we understand that one of their purposes is to protect Nigerian judiciary from any personal or illegal action from the executive. So, as I am speaking to you right now, the Nigerian Judicial Council has failed woefully in Nigeria, because remember that those judges were arrested illegally because Muhammadu Buhari acted outside the law of Nigeria. He did not follow the due process in arresting a sitting judge. So that is why I say that the National Judicial Council of Nigeria has failed woefully. Again, if you come to Nigerian Bar Association, remember that Nigerian Bar Association is there to protect human rights and the rule of law in Nigeria.
Yes, of course.
And if you look at the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, his human rights have been violated in Nigeria. The rule of law had been violated in Nigeria. Look at on 17th of December 2015. The leader of indigenous people of Biafra, High Court sitting in Abuja, ordered the DSS to release the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. And the DSS Nigeria refused to do so. If you look beyond, you will see Muhammadu Buhari ordering the DSS not to obey court order. That is exactly what happened. Why am I saying this? The National Judicial Council and the Nigerian Bar Association have failed woefully to protect the citizens' right, to protect the rule of law, and to protect the judiciary of Nigeria. So, moderator, I want our listeners to understand the reason the main reason why Muhammad Buhari arrested those churches illegally. Number one, remember that the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Kano, when he was preaching the gospel of Biafra on Radio Biafra, he told us that if we allow these people, APC, to get Imo State, Rivers State, and the Akwa Ibom State, that the triangle had been completed, and when that happens, that the people of Biafra, that we are gone as a people. So Muhammad Buhari fought gallantly with his APC party. They got Imo State. Then Akwa Ibom State and the Rivers State failed him. He went to court and expected those honorable churches
to compromise
or to do his bidding. You know, so those judges refused. Because of that, Muhammad Buhari hated those churches. He's not happy because of it. Since he failed it since these two states failed him, because the churches failed to give him these two states. Are you getting my point?
Exactly.
So now, this is one of the reasons Muhammad Buhari acted that way. Again, he acted that way in order to escape punishment. Remember that when Nnamdi Kanu, when the High Court ordered the release of Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, that DSS refused to do so. And Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, through his own counsel, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, filed a complaint against the the federal government of Nigeria.
Of course, yes.
The Director General of DSS,
yes,
and the Attorney General of Federation.
Yes.
So, meanwhile, Buhari know too well that he disobeyed court orders, which the punishment is either by fine or imprisonment. So, for Muhammad Buhari to escape it, he has to act on time by arresting those churches, because now the Kano's case is already in Adeniyi's court. So now he acted outside the constitution to escape the punishment with his imported allegations. Meanwhile, he knows too well that those National Judicial Council of Nigeria, Nigerian Bar Association, while they are investigating on this issue, that they will also suspend those charges. By so doing, Nnamdi Kanu's case will be pending in Adeniyi's court. Do you understand it now?
Exactly.
So this is the reason why Muhammad Buhari acted against his own constitution, which is the most disheartening issue, that a sitting president acted against his own constitution.
Incredible.
So nobody is talking.
Nobody is
saying anything.
So, moderator, as I'm talking to you right now, the Nigerian Bar Association, the National Judicial Council of Nigeria, they have failed to protect those honorable judges and to protect Nigerian judiciary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Amadi Basil. I would rather like to refer you as a constitutional lawyer, and you always talk on the rule of law. The fact that these judges were arrested in the middle of the night by armed men, as if they were going to arrest an armed terrorist, as if they had information that armed robbers are operating in the home of the Honorable Chief Judge of the High Court. Is the Chief Judge so armed such that they required such amount of fortified armed men with masked faces to go for his arrest in the middle of the night? Why is the Nigerian state a terrorist state? Why is the Nigerian state acting as if we are in a military government?
A lawless state?
A lawless state. To arrest a judge is something that could have been decently done. Go to his office by the police, tell him that he's under arrest, and he will come to the police station and make a statement. If he requires to be detained, he will be what is the essence of sending DSS with armored tanks to the home of a sitting chief judge in the middle of the night? What type of constitution are we really operating in that contraction called Nigeria? At this point in time, I'm coming to you, Ifeanyi. Should Biafrans continue to stay in a country where the chief judge has no respect?
The answer is no. The answer is completely no. The question then is this: who are the judges? You know, when I was talking at the beginning of this topic, I told you people that the law is not applicable to the North. Maybe some people don't understand what I'm saying, but if you are watching me, think deep, think it again. It's not applicable. Who are the NJC? Who are the people in charge of taking decisions in NJC? If they are 10, Northerners are 9. Thinking the same way. If they are 20, Northerners are 18. Reasoning alike. That's why I am saying that the same way a cattle rearer in the bush think and reason, the same way a professor
Of the North
in the highest office, the same way they think and the same way they reason. Their mindset is that as long as this North remains in power, that is their mindset. As long as North remains in power, whatever they do to protect that power is what is important. Whatever the injury of their action caused out there
is not of any consequence.
is irrelevant. So, what are you talking about? There is no law, and there is no law, because the people that are in charge of the law, the so-called rule of law or the so-called constitution or book, does not believe in it. They don't believe in that book, and that book is the book that is used to fix the office of the NJCs. When you use a fake document and they install somebody there, that person already knew that he was there on a fake document. That is why they will take an oath or swear an oath during the time of taking office, but they will not obey those oaths because they know those oaths were irrelevant. It doesn't apply because they know the book which they were using is fake. The Bible said in somewhere that any foundation laid on a sandy soil is bound to collapse. So what are you talking about? The same thing is happening. Nigeria, the collapse of the NJC, as pointed out by my colleague here, is the first stage of collapse of the entire Nigeria. The Zoo Republic. The three arms, it was said the three arms. You know, people sometimes, when things begin to happen, people don't understand. Now, there are three arms that are holding the building. One is down.
No, 2 is down. The legislator.
No, the legislator is somehow. He's still dangling.
No.
It's not completely down.
No, the legislature is the first that was down.
Let me tell you why I say it is still dangling. It is still dangling because there is a kind of I would say 60-40 members. So in the legislature, there is still some 40% of Biafrans in the legislature.
Who did what? Who?
Biafrans and the
I wanted to ask.
I wanted to ask.
Since 1999, what law have the legislature made that affected
you know, there is something that's happening in the legislature. There are those
who still believe that they can amend Nigeria, that they can save
No,
the fallen
that is
building.
no, that is not what is at their mindset. What is at their mindset
No, I'm trying to
get the money that is flowing out of that legislation.
Listen, they want to get the money, but they wouldn't want it to collapse, because if it collapse, their business venture have collapsed.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't want it to collapse completely. So that's why there are still 30 or 40% struggling to sustain the foundation.
So what
I'm saying, excuse me, moderator, so that people should understand, the viewers should understand where things are heading to.
Yes.
Because that is why I'm laughing, because I'm happy that the building is collapsing. And I want it to continue
to collapse.
The 3 leg, one is down. Then the other one is half down. Then we pray that very soon let it also be down, so that it will remain the Indian mean. Because the moment it reaches to the level of Indian mean position, because it's very close to the Indian mean position now. The moment it is there. The moment it is there, then what happened to the Indian mean of Uganda will happen to the Indian mean of Nigeria. And by then, it will be easy and very, very easy for Biafrans to go unhindered. So, moderator, that is my own view. Thank you.
That is really on a lighter mood, because I believe that our viewers are watching and they are assessing what we are saying here. The truth is that Nigeria lack the rule of law. Because if Nigeria does not lack the rule of law, in the first place, the action of the Nigerian DSS is illegal. It is wrong. It is not the duty of the DSS to go and arrest a sitting judge.
The DSS is an illegal entity.
Of course, that is a fact.
Doing an illegal
job for an illegal president.
Under the illegal book.
And you see that the
illegal country.
This is really incredible. You see, so everything in Nigeria is illegal. Nigeria expired as far back as 2014. Therefore, as we speak, Nigeria is an illegal entity. Now, the Nigerian president is not qualified to be a president.
He was there on his own.
On his own. So he is illegal president.
It's a battle of
now the constitution of Nigeria
takes it.
The constitution of Nigeria, as a matter of fact, is a product of one man's brain.
Yeah.
And it is regarded as illegal because there is dual ideology in it.
And also because they lied that it is we. The people that it is a lie.
It is abuse and lie. It is never we. So it is a lie. And again, DSS is also an illegal establishment. So on that note, we are trying to return back to our viewers to assess what we have discussed today. We discussed 2 issues actually. The beheading of an innocent Igbo woman because he asked people that are washing their leg to go and pray to shift by the corner. Because probably there are customers that are coming to buy from her shop. He asked them to please shift at the corner, and that amounts to blasphemy against Muhammad. Now, they beheaded him, and the Attorney General of Kano State said it's okay. Today, we also brought you the issue of the NJC asking the honorable judges that were illegally arrested by the DSS to step down, which, from the point of view of the truth of the matter panel here, is not correct, because the honorable judges never erred in law by passing judgments that came to their table. And the NJC is yet to let the world know the brain behind their turnaround decision to ask those judges to step down, because earlier they said they will never ask them to step down. But
and they said that why they took that decision was because this is an allegation. And then now I want to point out, if now they have turned around and said that they want to suspend the judges, based on an allegation. That is to say that since the judges made some kind of counter allegation against some ministers, why won't
they go and
also step down and be suspended until a proper investigation
was also alleged to have given approached the judges for bribery.
Yeah.
Why were they not? Where were those ministers not
suspended to allow for investigation?
So at this point, our viewers, we thank you so very much for being with us today in the truth of the matter. And we believe that we have been able to give you information and insight into what is happening in the contraption called Nigeria. And you will be in a better position to judge and to assess actually where the wind is blowing. I thank you from my extreme left, Master Amade Basir Oba, for coming in today's program. It is a great pleasure having you today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. And Abu Kano Abu, thank you very much for coming in today's program and contributing immensely.
Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you so very much, Abu. It's a pleasure having you today. And Mr. Ifeanyi, thank you so much for your wonderful contribution.
Thank you very
We are so
much.
happy to have you in today's program.
Thank you.
And this is Ikechi Umorisa from the studios of the Truth of the Matter program, returning you back to our central studios in London.
Biafra freedom, freedom is what we need now. Freedom, freedom is what we want now. Biafra freedom, freedom is what we need now. Freedom, freedom is what we want now. Calling the United Nations to set my people free. Calling the League of the Nations to set Biafra free. Lord no. Calling the African Union, talk about my freedom. I'm calling the folk on the South Igbo to set Biafra free. Lord, for so